Hi everyone, how are you? Okay, let me make sure everything is working right. So for those of you who are just joining me, my name is Lisa Jo Davis with Healing Light with Lisa Jo, but today I'm on Aligned World Network and I'm going to be doing some activations for you today. So we'll give everybody a moment to find me here. Okay. And when you come across me, go ahead and say hello and let me know where you're calling from. I always love to hear where everybody is from. It makes it exciting for me as well. Okay, let me exit out here of a few things that sometimes my screen gets a little too messy with everything that we have up and everything. So remember, when you're here, go ahead and say hello. I love when we connect every Saturday. Let's see. Okay, so that's all done and everything looks really well. So, excuse me, it's very windy here, so I think my allergies are starting to act up a little bit. So, what is today's topic? Today's topic is, am I an empath? And to be honest, I get this question a lot when I work with privately with my clients. Um, it's just something that I think personally a lot of people have, almost everybody has it. Whether they are in tune with being an empath is another story. So today what I want to do is help you learn how to identify the signs of being an empath. And we'll get started here. Thank you for joining us in New Zealand. Miss Walker, thank you for being here. And since I moved to Texas, I'm now starting to feel more Texan because I'll go because a lot of people call me Miss Lisa or Miss Lisa Joe. And so I tend to start, excuse me, I'm starting to use that myself. It's really nice and lovely to hear kind of that respectful way of talking to every person, no matter what their age is. Okay, so I am going to get started in a moment. For those who aren't aware of what Aligned World Network is, they are the ones that they kind of host me every Saturday. And it's a wonderful group. They're on, online, they're on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So they have a lot of different ways that you can connect with them. And there are so many different individuals who participate with Aligned World Network, anywhere from sound energy to yoga and everything in between, numerology. Um, there's a few that connect with your loved ones who have already passed. And it's just a lovely group of individuals, men and women, that show up to try to help you uh, navigate the course that you are in your spiritual path. And of course, all of us are at different spots. And, you know, it's a great way of experiencing a lot of different light workers who offer their, their tips and their sessions. And it's just a wonderful way of getting to connect with somebody and seeing if you are connected to that person and whether you want more one-to-one individual type of interactions with them. So again, I am Lisa Jo Davis, and today I'm on Aligned World Network with Healing Light Activations with Lisa Jo. Today's topic is, am I an empath? So you're going to learn today how to identify signs of an empath, empath, and I'm going to share my knowledge on the subject and how to understand the empath's life. And later on, after we talk a little bit, I'll be doing 3 angelic activations to help support you. All of my links are down below. If you would like to set up a private session, my website's down there. I have a jewelry boutique if you're interested in that. And I do bless every piece of jewelry that goes out. And if you miss a video, you can always find my videos on YouTube, my YouTube channel of Healing Light with Lisa Jo. There's a playlist there up in the titles. There's a playlist. And there I have over 57 videos that you can kind of go through and see if anything gives you an interest. So again, please say hello and let me know where you're watching from. I do read all the comments. If I don't comment on the live, I will comment at the end where I read everybody's individual comments. So everyone has different spiritual gifts. Everyone, right? Whether you use them or not is totally up to you. Some people choose not to do that because it just doesn't feel right for them. And that's perfectly fine. There's no judgments there. And then other people have, different type of psychic abilities, whether they're a medium or they're a psychic. One of the things that I am is an intuitive empath. And I thought that since this is a topic that comes up a lot in my sessions that I do with people, I thought I would share what an empath is. And I personally believe that everybody is an empath, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, whether it's a little bit of empath or a lot of empath. There's a lot of different levels of being an empath. And so I'm going to try to explain these different things that you can do to connect and see if you're one of these people. And again, if you choose not to be, express yourself as an empath, sometimes it just comes naturally. It's not something that you have to learn, right? It's not something that you can learn, but you learn to trust what you're feeling. So, and like I said, I personally believe that everyone has a degree of being an empath. It's just whether or not you connect with that. You may not be sure if you are, or you may not even know how to use your empath gifts. So today you're going to learn how to use your empath gifts with confidence while moving forward on your spiritual path. Excuse me. So how can you trust that your empath gifts are correct? You can begin by tuning in and trusting your body's emotions, because that's basically what you're doing. So what is an empath, and are you an empath? An empath is an individual who feels more empathy than the average person. Empaths are exceptionally sensitive to the emotions and the frame of mind of nearby individuals. Empaths are very aware of delicate changes and can easily become overstimulated by the sound, smell, noises and even in crowds. Sometimes empaths are those who have developed survival mechanisms when facing challenging environments in their childhood that carry out into their adulthood. They extend themselves outwardly, taking on and empathizing with the emotions of other. There are different levels of being an empath. Some empaths are exceptionally sensitive to the imprints of energy, including, excuse me, including in I'm tongue-tied. Okay, including environmental worldwide events like earthquakes, floods, fires, and even war. They can feel the emotions that come with these events, and that can affect individuals who are globally intuitive as an empath. There are empaths that have a very healing energy within them. Others are often smooth simply by being in your presence. People love talking to empaths because they feel better afterwards. However, most likely, after having that type of interaction with somebody, you're going to feel very drained. There are other empaths who can understand another's pain. This is the type of empath that I am. I'm a little bit of I can connect to the world events and also feel the sadness and the outcry of these other type of events that happen worldwide. But I'm more in tune with understanding another person's pain. By feeling this within their own body, this gives the insight needed to understand what might help another person. When you absorb the emotions of others, you rely on your own gut feelings and intuition to make sure and make sense of everything around you. However, by feeling what others are feeling so deeply, you'll tend to absorb or take on the emotions yourself, often at the expense of your own emotional being. Um, so what does that mean? That means that whenever, for example, I have a client and I typically go and I scan their body. When I scan their bodies, I can feel pain that is felt in my body. And I will, tend to work in those areas where I might feel discomfort. So I might feel discomfort in the back of my neck. And I was fine before I met with a client, but now once I, connected with the client and I started scanning their bodies, now I have a pain in the back of my neck. Well, that tells me that that's an area that I need to ask Creator to send healing to. So that is what is meant by absorbing and taking on someone else's emotions yourself. It's if you don't learn how to clear yourself or what to do when this happens, or even after your session with somebody or being with someone that you're talking to, it can really cause a lot of distress until you actually learn what is going on. So this is what I'm going to cover today, is how to see the signs of being an empath and what type of empath you are. So what I would like you to know is that you notice how you feel at home versus your life experiences like gatherings, shopping at an antique store, and I'll share that experience with you in a moment. Um, just really take notice of how you're feeling before you get out and around other people. And this really includes your family, right? So, every day it's good to, wake up in the morning and ground yourself. There's several techniques of doing that. You can imagine yourself having roots on the bottom of your feet going into the earth. You can use your grounding cord and have that going to the earth. You can do earthing, which is actually walking outside barefooted, working if you don't have a backyard or something like that, but you have patio plants. You can go in by touching the soil and tending to your plants. So there's many different ways of grounding. You can lean up against a tree and you can ground that way as well. So what happened once, well, more than one time, was I was shopping with my son Peter, and we love to go to antique stores and thrift stores and see what, kind of goodies are there and, pick something up that really, attracts us. Well, being an empath, you can feel a lot of the energies when you first walk into an antique store. You have to remember that some of the items that are in an antique store have been in somebody else's life. They're not new items. They come from generations that have been handed down these things. It could be someone has passed away and they just donated their things to a thrift store or even an antique store. This particular store I'm going to tell you is there was a little booth that my son and I always liked to visit because they had so many neat looking type of things. And he collects pins and that you pin on yourself. And his whole bedroom looks like an antique store. He has collected many things, but one of the things that came across this one day is we kind of got separated and I went ahead of him and I went into the little booth that we normally go into and I was like, oh no, there's something's not right here. And I looked at down and there was this big trunk. It was one of these traveling trunks from like the 1800s, the late 1800s. And so, I mean, it was really large and everything. And I touched it and I was like, oh, no, no, no. Because I wanted to open it to see what it looked like. And so I left. And my son, Peter, he's an empath. And he came in and he had the same feeling. And so we connected. And I go, did you go into the favor booth? And he goes, yeah, there's something weird over there. And I go, yeah, let me guess the trunk. And he says, yes. And so I go, let's go back together. So we both go back together and we kind of made our rounds and we come to where the trunk is and we're like we both like pointed it's the trunk and I'm like something's not right about this. He goes, no, something's not right about this. And so we left. This is not something that we would choose to bring home with us, although we have been looking for a big trunk because they're just so beautiful. And this one was really a beautiful trunk, but I mean, neither one of us wanted to open it. And we cleared ourselves after we came out of that area. And anytime you buy something from a thrift store, or even an antique store, you really want to kind of clear its energy. You can ask that Archangel Michael come down and clear the energy from this item. You can use sage or paliato and sticks. So like I have this and I light it up and it smells so good. And you just kind of swirl it around and let some of the smoke go around it, and it will help clear that energy. And it makes it better for you to be able to bring it into your home and feel confident that it's not bringing in any other spirits that may be attached to it. They may think that that was something, for example, that the trunk. It may have seen a lot of travel. It may have been the person that had it before, maybe just really treasured it. Maybe it was something that was handed down to them and they just, it really had a nice place in their heart. And then they decided that it was enough, and they went ahead and let it go to the antique store to sell. So it may not be a deceased person, but all the imprints of wherever the antique trunk had been, it still carries those emotions and experience of emotions with it. Everything has an imprint that we have, even things that we don't like too much and just don't feel a real connection to, and we just want to throw it out. Sometimes you might get a gift from somebody and there's something not right about it, and you would ask for it to be cleared. If you really feel like heebie-jeebies with it, donate it somewhere, and don't keep it. It's not something that you really want to keep around you. Anytime you buy things at an antique store or even a thrift store, you want to make sure that it's bringing you joy and that you can really benefit from its uses. And so I would suggest kind of following your gut feelings about that. So some of the benefits of being an empath is knowing when something is not energetically right. Hence the trunk at the antique store. Because empaths' feelings don't lie. Having strong intuition with excellent social awareness and the ability to create deep and meaningful relationships with others can be a really helpful tool to have when you connect as an empath. So what do you do before leaving your home? What I would say is use your protection by one, grounding first. There are some protection tools that you can do. So you want to make sure that you ground yourself. Um, and you can do that. Also, you can use the protection of Archangel Michael by putting on his blue cloak that he has, or even using the healing rod of Archangel Raphael. And in a few minutes, I'm going to be giving you three angelic activations. It's going to help you have some discernment with these. So what I would say too is that you really need to trust your gut, or other words, your stomach or your solar plexus, because that is where a lot of feelings will go and be filtered through. Sometimes you might be invited to go somewhere and you just don't feel like you, in your gut, you're thinking no, 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 that no. So that's kind of an empath sign, right? Because your stomach or your gut is saying, hold on, this is not something that you really want to do. And so you want to feel good at home. And then if all of a sudden you go someplace and you're not feeling good because you're having interactions with other people, these are things that are very important to learn about yourself. So the more that you're in tune with yourself, you may have an activity that you need to go to, like a party or something. Let's say you're going out and you were going to a gathering and you got ready and you feel really good. You feel good about going to this gathering of people. And then all of a sudden you get there and the atmosphere feels kind of, I don't know, but maybe the atmosphere feels really good, but what can happen is if you find that a lot of people come up to talk to you and they're like, oh, Lisa Joe, I feel so much better after talking to you. And then you're feeling drained. They're actually pulling energy from you. It's not intentional, and it rarely is an intentional type of response to have. They, it's just you emanate energy that attracts people. It's kind of like your light. People, feel your light. They don't know, or they may not be aware of it, but they feel better after talking to you, and you may feel drained. So in a few minutes, I'm going to do these activations that will also help you to protect yourself. And this can even happen in a grocery store. You can be in the middle of, I won't name a grocery store, a grocery chain or a store or a department store, and you might be able to feel other people's emotions, and maybe you're not feeling good all of a sudden. That's another key. That's another hint to let you know that before you came in the building, you were fine and dandy. And now you're in the building and now you're not feeling so good. It's because you're picking up these emotions from other people. Can you imagine, 100 different people around in the store, and you walk by a few of them and you just kind of, you feel that as an empath. And everybody's a little different. So some of you will feel it very strongly and some people won't. And what you would do is say, hey, okay, in your mind, you're thinking, I wasn't feeling this before and now I am. So you can you don't have to blame yourself of, I'm not feeling good because I'm not feeling good. It's you're not feeling good because you're picking up everybody else's energies. So that's one way of being able to tell that you're picking up others' energy. So you, excuse me, you want to make sure that you protect yourself. And today you're going to be receiving 3 angelic activations. So get in a comfortable spot, and you can have your eyes open or closed. And just give me, Lisa Jo, permission to assist you today. And it doesn't matter whether your eyes are open or if you want to close them. So the other thing that I would like you to do is please invite your spiritual team to come forward to assist you during this process. And your spiritual team is your guardian angel, ancestors that have passed on, and they're also there guiding you and supporting you as well. A religious figure, it could be Mother Mary or Jesus or Buddha. It's just, I think a lot of it depends on who your spiritual team is, on who you connect religiously, or if you don't connect religiously, just know that you do have a guardian angel, and you do have loved ones and ancestors that are on your spiritual team. So what I would like to do before we get started into the activations is I'm going to clear everybody's aura energies that are here right now watching, and those who will be watching in the near future. Okay, I've connected. Thank you. And what I'm looking for or feeling within my hands would be tingly or pins and needles. Sometimes I just feel a wave of energy coming in through my hands. So we're going to go ahead and brush off some of these pins and needles I'm feeling in my hand. And one more time. Breathe in and out, releasing anything that may be stuck, stagnant, or even blocked. And that feels so much better. So I would like you to take another breath in. And as you release, releasing anything that's stuck there. And I would like you to make the intention of placing your grounding cord, which is located near the back of your, the base of your spine. And imagine this grounding cord, which is a long tube, going into the earth through all the different layers of the earth into the center and the heart of Gaia. And as your grounding cord is there, allow it to absorb like a straw and bringing up that loving and supportive energies in the heart of Gaia. Allow it to travel up into the grounding cord. And you're going to leave your grounding cord there, but allow that energy to flow all the way up into the bottom of your spine, traveling up, up, up through your higher self. And then we're going to bring that energy and connect with our Creator. And bringing that energy back into your heart. And I would like you to place one or both hands on your heart and breathe in and out. And I am making the intention, and I'm going to be opening all of the chakras, making sure that they're all aligned and spinning in the correct direction, expanding the flow within, prepping your body to receive these angelic activations. Now you can place your hands where they're most comfortable for yourself, establishing a normal rhythm of breathing. And begin by giving you the first of the 3 activations. It has been requested and approved for you to receive the angelic activation of Archangel Michael's cloth of protection now. Thank you. And as this energy begins to flow, it typically comes from the top of the crown and works down. And this gives you the ability at any time to connect with Archangel Michael, to use his cloak of protection. I typically see it as kind of a hooded cape, and it's a very dark blue, but it's very shimmery. So when you light passes on it, it has different shades of blue. You may see it as something different, and it may look different for you. But having this angelic activation of his blue cloak of protection, it's an easier way of connecting and protecting yourself. And so this is one of the things that you could use to protect yourself before you even leave the house, is just making the intention of putting the cloak on, putting the hood on, and going out and about with your, your duties or your errands that you need to run. If this energy coming across right now feels like it's not traveling down, or that it has been stuck somewhere, for example, let's say that you feel it kind of stuck in your heart, go ahead and tap that heart area. If you feel like it's stuck in your arms, just, rotate your arms around. If it's in your back, move the back. If it's in your knees, just move your knees around. So anytime that I do these activations, they typically run from the top and work their way down. And this is something that I always teach, that if you receive this and the energy is coming through and then it stops somewhere, this is a way for you to continue moving. Sometimes we have blocks within certain parts of our body that these energies need to penetrate through. So it's just a way to allow it to continuously to flow through you. So we'll let that continuously run for you. Yeah, I am pushing it through for those of you that feel it's stuck. Keep breathing in and out. You have your spiritual team here to help you. I'm holding space for you as well. So I'm being guided to go ahead and give you the next activation. And it has been requested and approved for you to receive the angelic activation of Archangel Raphael's healing rod now. Thank you. And if you're still processing the other activation, that's fine. They can run simultaneously with each other. Now, Archangel Raphael's healing rod, what is that? It's kind of self-described as being a healing rod. You can ask for Archangel Raphael's healing rod to come forward for you to help heal whatever it is that you need to heal. You may see it as a wood staff. I see it that way, as a wooden staff that he has. There is, for me, I see it as carvings of what I would represent as, or what I think is representing the DNA code. So that's what I see as, the DNA cord that, goes kind of like that. You know what I'm talking about. So that would be a good one to take with you if you are at a gathering. Make sure you take it. You can imagine yourself, in your mind, so people don't think you're crazy. And stand there holding something, so you can imagine in your mind, bringing down that healing rod onto the ground to help heal what is in your environment. It could be you're at a gathering at somebody's house for a birthday, and just imagine pounding that healing rod to come, forward for you to help, ease people's minds, ease disagreements. And one of the other things I'm being told to share with you is you can also, you don't need a activation for this, but you can imagine like a ball of pink energy, and it's a chi ball, and you just gather your hands together like this, and you rotate and imagine that this ball of energy is pink, and it gets bigger and bigger, and you can send it forward ahead of you. So you can send it to that gathering. You can send it to the store or to the antique store. And this is actually, pink represents love. So you're sending love ahead of you, because not all social gatherings can be pleasant. Most of them are, but occasionally, if it's a family one, there seems to be somebody there that's not always happy. But maybe you're very lucky and you have a lot of people at your gathering that are really happy people. But if you wanted to go forward to another place that it's not always a pleasant experience, you can send the pink light ahead of you. Now I'm going to be giving another activation. This is the last one. But I want to tell you that these activations will be running for the next 4 days for you. And what does that mean? It means that they're going to continuously run one after another. If these energies become too intense for you, you can ask your spiritual team to lessen the degree that it's coming, the intensity that's coming to you. You'll still get all the same benefits. They just don't want you to be uncomfortable. But in the other end of the spectrum, maybe you want them to come in faster or more stronger, and you have the perfect ability to ask your spiritual team to make it more intense or let it flow a little faster than what it is. But over the course of the 4 days, they will dissipate. And by the fourth day, they'll pretty much be non-existent for you. Other words, you'll already be used to the energy, but the energy won't be as strong as what it is right now as we're going through this process. So the last angelic activation I'm going to do right now, it has been requested and approved to give you the angelic activation of moving forward with clear intentions to know and trust my own empathic gifts. Now, thank you. This will help you be able to identify and trust your empathic gifts. Each one of the activations will feel a little different than the previous one. That's because of the energies that are carried within each of the activation. Some of them will come in really strong. Some of them will come in very smooth and loving, and some of them will just be a steadiness, and doesn't really feel either way. But as an empath, or learning to use your empath abilities, it's good for you to be able to discern from one activation to the other. This is how you increase your empathic abilities. It's not really something that can be taught, but it's something that like, I can't teach you. I can't say, okay, take this class and now you're an empath. Everybody has the ability of having empath qualities. Some people just are in tune to it more than others. And some people just have had this all their life, but didn't know what to call it. So this is, like if you're, okay, for example, when I watch news and it's about some worldwide events, any wars or earthquakes or, really bad things that happen, wars in different countries and around the world, I typically feel that. I can feel the heaviness, I can feel the sadness, and how it affects a lot of people in those different areas. So I know that that's what I'm picking up. And so knowing that, I know that it's not me, right? It's not something that I've manufactured, it's just something that I pick up. So then I have to, sometimes I touch my heart and I ask that the level of these feelings dissipate so that I don't feel so heavy with the emotions. And the same goes for me of seeing a horror movie. Horror movies, just, I don't like them. I will watch them if a family member is watching them, but if it gets too intense, it's just not something that I really care to connect with. And sometimes I'll just let them do their own thing and just walk away, because even though it's fantasy, sometimes fantasy can be truth for some people. Unfortunately, there are people who are like these horror movies, so it's just not the kind of energy that I want to really connect into. So these energies, again, will start at the top of your head and move down, and they will recycle or repeat over the next 4 days. You're doing really good. Gonna let these energies flow for a moment longer. Don't forget to breathe in and out. So what I'm going to do now, and these activations will still continue to run, is I'm going to anchor these angelic activations and these energies into your body system for completeness. Asokanasati Simadina Gonado, or Sabrina de Dotanatina, Simadina Cotinati, or Samadina Cadina de Dosinati, no Cani Basinati Cotidatinada. And I just spoke light language if you're a little confused. So take a moment and please thank your spiritual team and the archangels. Thank them for supporting you in this process and always, because they're always with you, right? So you just always want to acknowledge them and let them know that you appreciate their assistance. Don't forget to thank Creator as well. So I am going to be bringing you back into your body's awareness. So I would like you to take a breath in. And as you release your air, go ahead and begin to move your fingers and your toes. Taking in your next breath in. And as you release, you can open up your eyes, adjusting to the light that is around you. So how are you feeling? I would love to know what your experiences were. If you have any comments, there's an area down below that you can write in there as well, and I will read them. Sometimes people aren't comfortable with sharing their experiences, which is perfectly fine. But if you want to send me a private message, you can do that as well and let me know, how things are going. All of this information and feedback that you give me helps me become a better spiritual teacher. It helps me know what is liked, what is not liked, what people crave more of, so that I can make these more individualized to the needs of everybody collectively that's watching. If you feel someone could benefit from what you've learned today, please share out the video with them. I appreciate it. If you lose where you're watching this video at, just go to YouTube at Healing Light with Lisa Jo. All of my videos are uploaded there, so you're never going to miss one. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe, because in that way, when you subscribe, you're notified when there's a new recording that has been uploaded. You can like me. That would be good. You can even comment in the section, but you want to go to where my picture is up on top of the Healing Light with Lisa Jo on YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel, and there'll be a little button there that says subscribe. So some of the health benefits of this, of your aftercare, would be to make sure that you stay hydrated. You could take a bath later and just think about all these different things that we've talked about. You can listen to your body, and if your body feels like it needs rest, go ahead and honor that. If you may be one of the people that after getting these angelic activations, you may have a lot of energy and just kind of want to share it out and go about your day. You may also find journaling is really helpful in these sessions that we have as well. Okay. Thank you, Pam. Okay, Robin has a discomfort in the shoulders, which has been released. That's wonderful. So these just there's nothing that you have to do. One of the questions, if I understood it, is they'll be downloading for 4 days. And there's nothing that you have to do to continue having these activations flow. It just will happen by you giving me permission. This has been embedded, one, in your body, and two, it's also embedded in the video. You can come back and watch the video as many times as you want to do that. Um, but these, they're just kind of download. Once that we've downloaded them, they'll just keep running their cycle through the fourth day, and there's nothing special that you need to do. If it's uncomfortable, you can ask that the energies be lessened. If you want them to speed up, you can do that. So you have the control of your body. If it's something that you want to adjust, just ask your spiritual team to help you adjust that as well. Okay, so I think that this is it for me. I will leave you here and let you finish enjoying your day. And you have a lot there that has been given to you. And I'm excited to see what your, reactions are and how you feel about what you learned today. I'll be here next Saturday, so I'm looking forward to seeing you there. It's going to be, let's see, 11 p.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Oh, 11 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. Central, and 2 p.m. on the East Coast, and 7 p.m. in the UK. So thank you all, and